brother was going into is that, it's the wickedness. The wickedness that we show is literally what drives the Lord to put these consequences on us, man. Pursuing to Deuteronomy 28, what was it, the 15th verse? Deuteronomy 28, 15?
Going into the curses.
Come on, bring that up real quick. Right?
Most definitely. I'm already on. It's good.
In fact, I'll read it, break it down. It says, but it shall come to pass that this Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if we were not to hearken unto the voice of thy power, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, these laws, statutes, and commandments, go ahead.
To observe and do all of his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses will come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now verses 1, Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 goes into what happened if we did hearken unto the Lord. 15 down to 68, clearly, which is more verses and more to it than if we would not hearken unto the Lord, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So these curses is going to follow us no matter where we go, man. At our job, in our homes, whether we taking trips, whether we, just dealing with the family, friends. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, it's it also when it talk about the city, it means like in the literal cities, all right. And when it says in the field, it's more or less referring to the whole earth.
Con.
This is verse 17. Cursed shall thou be thy basket and thy store.
Now basket, that's kind of threefold. Basket can mean, financial situations, and thy store going into businesses.
Right.
It's now more than ever this year, man.
Right.
It's a lot of black businesses. Everybody's selling clothes, everybody's selling making platters. You got women selling platters wherever you at. You know what I mean? Everybody we still cursed, man. God. They think this little bit of money we making is going to make a difference, man. This dollar is about to collapse, man.
Right. I mean, the fact that they talking about they got all these side businesses and all this is really just a testament to all of the legitimate business that was started up in the last year or so, and it's completely gone now because of the COVID situation, man.
Con, and the real business is doing this work of the Lord, man.
Con.
Aside of the fact of the matter. Salakia.
Con, because can't nobody put that out of business.
Con.
If anything, the worst that can happen is it'll validate everything the work stands for, man.
Con, the Lord is he's the only power that can fire us. And if you will, in this situation, Esau has nothing to do with this, man.
Right. So in COVID, pretty much the middle class is done, man. All the mom and pop stores is pretty much closed. Only thing you got is Walmart, Target, Home Depot. You know what I mean? You have you had Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street,
1920s,
where you had Jake, coming up in the game as far as, but it was still an Esau system, all right.
That little city, people don't know that little city, but they was about to start importing and exporting to China, all the major continents, man, out of that little city. Esau wasn't having that.
Right. So what happened to it? They bombed the shit out of it, man.
They dropped bombs on their own country.
Right.
That was actually, in fact, one of the first bombings they did on their own country.
Right. Ain't that the song is after that? You dropped a bomb on me.
The Gap Band.
The Gap. Bro.
That's the spirit. We was just listening to that the other day.
Con. That's they was out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's what the song is alluding to, man.
Con.
Black Wall Street, because that basket in thy store was starting to prosper there, but according to the scripture, you shall be cursed.
Con. So it wasn't our time. Matter of fact, let me reword it. Prophecy wasn't yet to be fulfilled yet. We still under them curses today.
Con.
You know what I mean? You keep going up.
Yeah. 18. Cursed shall thou be, Salakia. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. All right. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. All right, and you see that all the time, man, especially in the hood. All right, you know, being from the Philadelphia area, man, you know, West Philly is one of the worst parts of Philly, man. Well, Philadelphia as a whole is one of the worst cities in the world, in the country. Okay, and I mean, you know, how many people done woke up, got ready to go, you know, do whatever they was going to do throughout the day, and never came home, man, because they got hit with a stray bullet, or you know, the ops got them.
Listen,
you know
man,
what I mean?
look, man, it's a
you know,
man, now more than ever, man, bodies is dropping, man. It's
Right.
more cops killing niggas than niggas killing niggas, man.
Well, actually, that's, you know, that's a big portion of it, but it's a lot more niggas killing niggas, to be honest with you, in the cities.
Right. I mean, because that's always been
right. That's just because of the internet, the unicorn. All right, everything is starting to be broadcast now.
okay.
All right, and so, you know, you got a bunch of, just in Philadelphia, man. I think it's like 20 kids under the age of 12 then got killed in the city just this year alone, man. By stray bullets, man. You know, Chicago, you know, it's the same thing, man. I'm sure there's more everywhere. You know what I mean? I can't recount individual instances, but you know, you got men, women, and children, man, suffer death under gun violence, man. You know, because of the evil that you know, we have towards each other, which is another curse, and you know, and it's in here. We're gonna get to it. Get to that soon.
That's down to 50. I believe that's in verse 54.
Cause
you want to skip down to that?
yeah, might as well, man. You know, we ain't gonna stay on the curses, but
that's
soon.
That's the spirit. There it is, right
Yeah,
here.
yep. Okay. I'm gonna start at 52.
52.
It says, and he shall.
Besiege.
Oh no! I'm gonna start at 50. It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor unto the young. Oh, matter of fact, you know what, Salaki, I'm gonna start at 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So who's the eagle, man? That's America. You know, that goes back to Rome.
Really? Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's really all the Edomites.
It's always been the eagle, and I'm not gonna pull the pre now, but we're gonna finish on these curses, man. But it's a precept of the eagle, man. That's a representation that's deeper than the actual word.
Yeah, grab and hold that.
Keep going on.
Yeah. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemy, with the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So who do we have to go to get jobs? Who do we, like, for instance, now we these PUA checks, these FEMA, these stimulus checks? Who do we gotta go to for that? We can't do nothing without going to Esau, man. Who we gotta go to or go through? What do we have to have to fly from state to leave the country? We need licenses. We need passports. You know, we need all types of permit. We need all types of shit to do anything. We need permission to do anything. I don't know what makes people think that, you know, this is freedom. Like, you know, there's no such thing as free will, man. So, like, you want to keep going?
And also, you know, it said, thou shalt put a yoke of iron around thy neck, man. Literally, they put a yoke of iron around our necks once they got us from the interiors of Western Africa, South Africa, all right, and brought us over here to the Americas, man. All right, what they did to the Native Americans before they went and got the so-called Negro from Africa, okay? You know,
chattel slavery.
Bro, and you know that's not hidden, man. You can just go to Google and literally just type in yoke of iron, and you're literally going to see the first example you probably see is going to be that of a so-called Negro and what they went through here in the transatlantic slave trade. All right.
Not Africans.
Yeah, Khan.
So-called Negroes, man.
Yeah.
Israel.
Khan, and we'll get into that. I guess.
Khan, that's a whole nother video,
yeah,
whole nother topic. You know.
But yeah, and then that's also figurative, that yoke of iron, because like the brother said, man, even though we're not in chattel slavery, all right, if you go into the history or go into the etymology of words, you understand that devil Abraham Lincoln, when he set forth the Emancipation Proclamation, that didn't do nothing but transfer property, man.
Khan, that wasn't no freeing the slaves, man.
Right.
Like the brother said, he transferred the property because it was a battle between the North and the South.
Right. Over the property.
One side wanted to keep slavery going.
Right. As a privatized business.
Khan. Which is
the
still
South.
Here today.
Right.
And the other side was, it was financial reasons why they didn't want to,
right.
They was hurting.
It was the South wanted to keep slavery privatized, so the slave master owned the slaves and the business, where the North, the Union, they wanted to make everybody slaves, or pretty much have everybody pay tributaries to whatever business they're doing to the federal government. Okay? And that's that yoke of iron, man. Like the brother said, we got to pay a water bill, bro. Fucking water bill.
Why are we paying for water?
We invented the aqueducts.
Khan, why isn't water? Why are they telling us it's a shortage on water when we got geysers all over the planet?
Right. The whole rent mortgage system, the monetary system in itself, the being a slave to a dollar, man. Not knowing where your next piece of change coming through, living check to check,
Khan, I mean the scriptures say, man, in Baruch, we're gonna be what is it? We'll be we was gonna be subject to payments. So to speak.
There it is.
For lack of better words.
And hey, even take the business of owning homes and renting them out. You have to be willing to put a family out on the street just to keep your business.
They take a different type of spirit to do that, man.
Right. That's wicked, bro.
Yeah.
That's an example of Esau setting a system of wickedness up. Because back in the day, in the ancient world, Israel, if there was somebody in need, we would help them.
Khan, there was no such
back
thing.
On their feet.
If you were less fortunate, man, you was well off than the average Jake here.
Con.
But it goes back to their wickedness, man. Psalms 58:3, it says, the wicked have been estranged from the womb.
Con.
That's they came out the womb wicked, man.
Right.
That's their root. They're righteous in that.
Con.
What was it? 52.
Yeah. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thine high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest, throughout all the land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gate through all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Okay? And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, and the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord God hath given thee, in the siege and in straitness, and wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee.
Now that's going into 70 AD, right?
Exactly.
That's the spirit.
But it's twofold, because that's what's going to happen again, man. All right? Hey, in a sense, that's what's happening now, man. All right? Because if you think about it, that besieging us, all right, in 70 AD, they just cut off the trade routes and kept us in the cities because we had high walls. All right, so they couldn't get in, but we also couldn't get out, and we couldn't get any goods in or out as well.
They cut off our resources.
So now here we are in America, and what resources do we own? You know what I'm saying? What do we have that we can call our own? All right, if Esau wanted to, he can cut everything off. Hey, I just seen. At the height of the pandemic, when it first started, they were saying, anybody who's carrying business through the pandemic, they're going to cut off their power and water. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's wicked as hell, man.
All right, they're going to cut you off. Here you got a business that makes food for your community, all right, that feeds your family, all right, and they saying you can't stay open, but yet the marijuana dispensary down the street was deemed an essential business. You know what I mean? And keep in mind, it's still hundreds of thousands of Jake locked up for marijuana transactions while the
marijuana businesses is thriving.
They
finally got a way to tax it, and they making their money, and still got brothers in there rotting in prison, man, for that shit. This place gotta go, man. I mean, brothers got children in there over weed, while these Edomites is getting off, or on some wicked shit, pedophilia. You know what I mean? They killing cops. They getting off. Cops killing niggas. Right. They getting off. You know what I mean? This shit wow.
And let's see, it says you will eat thine own body and flesh of thy sons
Yeah,
and of thy daughters, which the Lord got. Okay, like the brother said, that's 70 AD, literal. But then you got to think about it, man. Look how these women act with this child support, man. That money's supposed to be for the kids, man. You know, that stimulus check was for your children. You know, what is it? The EBT is for your kids, man.
Bro, they
but what y'all do with it? Y'all get the
go ahead.
the fucking you getting the fucking Indian hair.
Listen, not only that,
you getting the most virgin yaki, what they call it?
Sake Black, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Virgil 11, you can, the list goes on. But not only that, you getting 6-7 kids, you know, getting $500, $600, $700, $800 a month, and what they doing with it?
Right.
Steak, shrimp, and lobster.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You making seafood boils for what you're supposed to be getting your kids.
Scriptures, scriptures clearly, that shit. Seafood and pork, that shit's unlawful, man. Yo, Esau made that shit a delicacy. He's going against the grain of everything he does goes against the grain of the scriptures, man.
And really, you gotta think about it. That's what they get into because they don't have a law. We was given the law, and so they not only did they give us the abominable things to eat, okay, they gave us the worst of the worst. It's not like they gave us the ribs of the pig during slavery. They gave us the intestines.
And what you
feet,
the chitlins. Now we eat chitlins now.
Chitlins, trotters.
I was never a fan of that shit anyway. I hated the smell.
Bro, my family grew up in the country.
My mom.
I grew up on some of that shit, bro.
My mom and grandma, pig feet chitlins, man.
Right. That shit is so fucking. I can't even smell pork now without. Like I remember, I accidentally ate some pork. And like it's almost like now because I haven't eaten it in so long, if I happen to accidentally eat some, which is really no excuse, but if it's just in something that was served to me unknowingly, I'll know immediately by the taste. Or if it get in my stomach, I'll be nauseous as shit, bro.
Bro, Esau so wicked, man. He got pork fat and everything, candy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our fruit don't got seeds. You know what I mean? It's
right.
No way around this shit, man.
They use pig shit to
fertilize
the vegetables.
Not the water.
You already know in the bar.
But
it's just more ways that that's more ways that Esau try to keep us in a trick. They try to keep us sinning, man, which keeps us separated from our power. What was that?
It's verse 54. Now it's going into the.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes will be evil toward his brother.
Black on black crime, man. This is what we were talking about earlier. Why is it that you can't walk down the street, stare at a brother for 3 seconds, whether you know him or not? What the fuck you looking at, bro? That's literal. They really don't need a breakdown. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Deadbeat dads.
Which he shall leave. Come on, man. So, the scriptures is telling us this now over 2,000 years ago that the father was going to lead a house. That the children was going to live. That the women were going to end up raising the children, man. Towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And which is going to, lead them astray. And they going to end up growing up wicked. Disrespecting their mother, their grandma.
Or just having a feminine spirit about them.
Exactly.
Man. It's like men don't even get that masculinity till they hit 35 because they just showing traits of their mom that raised them for the first, 30-something years of their life.
Hey, man, men, you can go back to, early, the whole 60s era. You feel me? You had the civil rights. That was a time where the average black household, you had the mother and the father in the house. It was beautiful. It was like 80% or something like that at the time. For lack of a better word, I had to look it up. Statistics were beautiful. Then they had, you had the so-called white woman, as to where she. The
women's suffrage movement.
The women's suffrage movement, women's rights. She didn't want to sit in the house all day to raise the kids. So what they do, create all these movements and convince the black woman that it was her fight too. So what the black woman do? She stopped fighting for civil rights and started fighting for women's rights, which eventually broke the household. You know, that was where our strength was. You know what I mean? Then they gave women all these government assistance programs and all that, averaging about $2,000 a month. But they said the only way that they could receive those benefits